What's going on, everyone? Michael Pasha here, on my way to work out in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's a beautiful day out here. The sun's out, the weather's nice and crisp in the morning. It'll warm up a little bit as the day goes on. But I wanted to do this this Facebook Live in the group, talking about why pushing your features and benefits in a sales conversation doesn't work. Now, I know that's something that a lot of people like to do. They go and they find someone who they think might be interested in their business, and they tell them all the features, and they go through all this big long list of all the things they're going to get. And then they try to tell them all the benefits, and go through another big long list of all the things that the person is going to benefit from. And the problem with doing that is that two things. One, it's good for the person to know the features, but that's not what's going to make them buy, right? People do not buy based on logic. It would seem like it would make sense that, okay, you give someone a logical reason to buy something and they're going to go ahead and buy it, but they don't really buy on logic. They buy based on their emotions. And I think a lot of salespeople have made that mistake in the past. Business owners have made that mistake in the past. But what I've learned from my experience is that the thing that you really want to focus on is figuring out what they actually want, right? You have a whole list of features, well, maybe they don't care about half of those features. You have a whole list of benefits, and maybe that you've come up with, but maybe that person doesn't care about half of those benefits, right? We have to tap into what that person actually cares about. And if we start talking about things they don't care about, then to them, they start to tune us out. Because they're like, this person's mentioning a whole lot of stuff that I don't personally care about, and you think they care about, so you think they would be engaged, and why wouldn't they want this and all this kind of stuff, and you start pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and really you're just pushing them away. So really what you want to do is you want to think about every sales conversation really comes down to providing people what they actually want, and what people are buying is an experience. And I don't really care what it is you're selling. I don't care if you're, most people can understand that when it comes to selling things like, I don't know, a vacation package, right? You're selling someone on the opportunity to take a, honeymoon to Fiji or something like that. And they can understand what the experience was like. I mean, often, a lot of times, even in that situation, people still just push the features and benefits and aren't really focused on the experience. But really the experience is the reason why people buy everything, right? Even something as small as, buying a pack of gum, right? Why is this person buying a pack of gum? Is it because they just like the taste of gum? Maybe. But a lot of times people buy a pack of gum because they're maybe worried about their breath smelling in a meeting. Or they're worried about, they're going on a first date and they're worrying about, not being as fresh as they possibly could be on that first date. And so that's the real thing that they're looking for. The real thing they're trying to avoid is not necessarily having the gum and the taste of the gum and all that kind of stuff. They're trying to avoid embarrassment. Right? They're trying to avoid the experience of being embarrassed. So if you don't focus on that thing and find out what it is that they're actually looking to gain or either move forward to or move away from, and you won't be able to have an effective sales conversation. And so really it's all about just focusing on the experience that the customer is looking to have in every single situation, right? So I'll give you another example, a restaurant. So a lot of times when it comes to restaurants assume, okay, people are coming in here because they're hungry. They want food. They want the food to taste good. But there are a lot of restaurants where the food actually isn't that good, but they have customers lined up around the block. Now, why is that? Well, it's because of the experience, right? People are looking for a good experience. And the other thing about having an experience is an experience can be done, or can be had in a number of different ways. Right? It's not always, in the context of a restaurant, experience is not always about the ambiance, right? That could be the first thing that kind of comes to mind is how nice is the restaurant? How nice are the tables? How nice is the wait staff? How decked out is the place? And that can be part of the experience, but that may not necessarily be what people are going after. Another part of the experience can be exclusivity, right? And think about this. I used to live in San Diego. Anyone who's familiar with San Diego knows there's a pretty nice area there called La Jolla. And there were two taco shops that were literally next to each other. One taco shop had a line out the door, and the other taco shop had hardly any customers. And I used to wonder, why is that? Why does this one have a line out the door? Why does the other one have very, very little customers? And I tried both taco shops, and actually, to me personally, the one that had few customers, which actually benefited me, I thought had better tacos. But the one that had the line out the door, what they had going for them was that line out the door. And they were intentional about making sure they had a line out the door, because people we're human beings are herd creatures, right? We have a herd mentality. If other people want something, we want it too. It's the same reason why, when you go to you think about it, if you're still in a club mode, and you're the kind of person that goes out to clubs or used to go out to clubs in the past, clubs kind of do the same thing, right? They intentionally keep people out of the club and have them stand outside and form a long line, because they want to make it seem like this place is in high demand, right? And so when people are walking by, they see there's a long line, they're like, wow, this place must be good because there's a long line. And so it's all about the experience that the customer is looking to have. The clubs know that, smart restaurants know that. And so whatever you're selling in your business, whether you're a dentist and you're trying to figure out how to get more customers into your dental office and buy more of your services there, whether you're a chiropractor, whether you have an online business and you're selling e-commerce products, or you're selling courses or whatever, it's just important to figure out, like, what is it that my customer is actually looking for? What's that experience that they want to have, right? And so when you're talking to the customer, you want to ask them questions to figure out the experience they're looking to have before you start going into features and benefits, because then you know what features and benefits to target and to focus on, right? But even more so than that, what you know is you have the ammunition to help them, and this is what you really want to do. You want to help them come to the conclusion themselves, right? And this is kind of what I like to refer to as the inception process. Anyone who's seen the movie Inception knows that in the movie they talk about planting an idea in someone's mind so they think it's their own, right? And that's kind of what you really need to do in a sales conversation, is you need to, but it's not really about planting the idea as much as it is about helping them cultivate that idea that's already there, right? Because they already know what they want. It's about just helping them connect and see the connection between what they want and what you're offering. So when it comes to digging out the experience, essentially what you're doing there is you're asking the customer, what is it they're looking for? What are the things that bother them? So let's say you're a dentist, for example. Okay, well, you're coming in the dental office. What kind of brought you in the office today? You're asking them questions like, is there something about your smile you don't like? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. A lot of people aren't very comfortable with sharing personal information with people that they don't know. And so a good way to kind of draw that out is providing a connection story. So providing them examples ahead of time of other people who have had problems and customers who have come into your shop with a variety of common problems and what you've been able to do for them, so that they can see, like, okay, other people have had these same issues and I don't feel as embarrassed sharing the fact that, I have these issues too. I have bad breath. My teeth aren't as straight as I would like them to be. And so really, it's all about, like, kind of drawing out what the experience of the customer is, or the experience that the customer wants to have, and using that experience to drive the sales conversation. But even with that, once you figure out what that experience is, then you can target everything and center everything around that. And what you want to do is you want to draw a big contrast between where they are and where they want to be. And that's really what the focus of the conversation should be on. Figuring out what that ultimate experience they want to have, why they want it, what are the feelings, right? Feelings, getting to feelings, not focusing on logic, really focusing on, like, how does all this stuff make them feel? And then asking them and figuring out, okay, how is it going to make you feel being in this current situation? How will it make you feel if you currently have, if you in the future have what you're looking for? And then just kind of drawing the parallel between those two things and how your service will help them get there. And when you do that, then they're able to emotionally connect themselves. And this is what you really want to do. You want to have them emotionally make an emotional connection between where they are and where they want to be, and see your service as a solution, right? And then you can go about creating urgency by asking them, how long do you want to deal with this problem? Is this something you've been dealing with for a long period of time? Oh yeah, I've had this, bad breath issue for the past 10 years. How has that affected your life? Oh, well, I've had people make comments when I go on auditions as an actor, or people make comments in business meetings, or my, spouse doesn't like to kiss me because, my bad breath, or whatever it may be. And then you're ready, and you're in a position where you can actually have that conversation, focus on the experience, draw the parallel between what you offer and what they want, so you become the solution provider, and they can clearly see that. And so that's really the focus of the sales conversation, and effective sales conversation is focusing on those things, focusing on the experience the customer wants to have, figuring out what that experience is. When you do talk about any features and benefits, I would keep it light, because, again, people don't buy based on logic. It seems like if you make this logical thing for them, they'll want your product, of course, but really it's all about the emotion. How does it make them feel? And focusing on the emotion is the thing that's really going to help you stand out, and really the thing that's going to help you make that sale. And so the other thing about this is understanding the difference between features and benefits, because I also find that a lot of people sometimes don't know the difference between those two things. And so the features of your product or service are literally the details of what you're offering. You're gonna get 10 sessions with me at this time for this duration. What is included in the service is the features, right? The benefits are a higher level of what the customer actually wants, in that really the benefits are, what am I going to get out of this? Okay, I get 10 sessions, but what is that 10 sessions going to actually get me, right? So it's like, providing the features is kind of like a basic thing that you have to let people know so they have an idea of what they're buying. But then the higher level thing is focusing on the benefits, because then that's the what am I going to get out of it. But then the level beyond that is focusing on the experience. Okay, you're going to get this benefit, and this is what this benefit is going to do for your life, right? This is how this benefit is going to change your situation, get you to where you want to be. And if you make that sort of focus, and you drive the conversation around that, you'll be much more likely to get a sale, much more likely to be successful in growing your business and getting the thing that you ultimately want. So I appreciate everybody for jumping on and watching this Facebook Live. If you watch this live, I'd appreciate it if you put a little hashtag live in the comments. If you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay. And if you have any questions about anything, drop questions in the comments as well. So I hope you all appreciated got some value from this. And I look forward to talking to you later. Have a great day.